the Baron. And he loved to think of himself as a Baron, even if the title was purchased rather than given by birth. Sorted through a crate by the light of the fire in his great room. The Kelid was a great sponsor of archaeology, everyone knew it. He would generously devote huge sums of money toward organizing expeditions into the ruins surrounding Starfall. Now and then, he even sponsored the Technic League into their forays into the Silver Mountain itself. Now, those trips rarely turned a specific profit, but the good graces of those who controlled the city were always a worthy investment. But this expedition, this had been simple adventurers, a ragtag group of nameless such-and-suches, rich with coin and bravado and looking to make a name for themselves in the unforgiving countryside at the behest of a local nobleman. They were so young, they were so naive. It wasn't his fault that they didn't understand the risks involved. He grabbed a glimmering jewel from the case. It was a strange, crystal-like object. The tiny traces of circuitry along its surface made it obvious that it was technological in origin, but its use was probably impossible to determine. He liked the way it looked, anyway. He'd have to have one of his people mounted on a stud make a bit of jewelry for himself. After such a successful trip, it seemed only right that he spoil himself at least a little. So what if one of his expeditioners had been chopped into pieces by, what did they call them? Murder balls? And another had fallen to their death in one of the ruins' monstrous defenses? 2 lives were a small price to pay for. He lifted the large, strange gun out of the crate and examined it, unable to control the grin spreading across his face. Those lives were a small price to pay for whatever this was. And since the other 2 had made such a stink about their dead friends that he'd been forced to terminate their contract with prejudice, these prizes were practically free. He couldn't have planned it better himself, honestly. Everything was coming up Kronseg. This is Pot Against the Machine.
Against the Machine. Against the Machine.
Welcome back to Pot Against the Machine, the only Pathfinder actual play where the heroes explode you to death with a look or a laser. I'm your host, and here's everybody.
They can't see those air quotes, but we can, Sam. So, hello.
I feel like they could hear the air quotes.
They heard them. They heard them.
Hello.
Audible air quotes.
Audible air quote forms. Last week on the program, our party got to know Dravid Mock, aka Mockery. Turns out that they are Draval Mock, isn't it? Yeah, it's Dralmock. I'll say his name wrong as many times as I want to say it wrong. It's all for the bloops. Anyways, they got to know him, and turns out he is a bit of a kindred spirit. He hates the Technic League with a burning passion. The party, big fans of the Technic League, of course, were happy to have that in common at least. And they talked a little bit about how to get by in Starfall, how to get through Starfall to the Silver Mountain if they want to. Spoiler, that's a tough ask. What the shape of the resistance is right now. Spoiler, it's not great. And what they could potentially do to help. And the main thing is get Kevoth Cool free of the Technic League, whether that means freeing him of his drug addiction, restoring him to the man he once was, or killing him if it has to be done. Any way you slice it, if the Black Sovereign's out of the way, the people of Numeria may well rise up against the Technic League and make it easier to, take down the Technic League. With their iron fist and all that horrible stuff. They discussed a little bit of ideas for how they could do that and how you can just walk into the Palace of Fallen Stars any day. There are publicly open portions, at least, of the palace. There's also going to be a night market tomorrow where at least one member of the Technic League might just show up to check out a rumored extremely powerful technological artifact in the hands of a nobleman named Kronsig Drund. There is also the supply of drugs that are currently keeping Kevoth cool under the Technic League's thumb, and the drug dealer who is concocting them is one Doc Hellbroth, an elf who works at a place called the Red Reaver, where he does cybernetic implants and makes drug cocktails and, subjects sovereign leaders of nations to horrifying cocktails of super addictive substances. Already decided they might go check out the scene at old Doc Hellbroth's, so they made their way over there thanks to the help of a nameless Kelid escort who pointed them to an alley. They walked down said alley only to be accosted by trained, extremely elite, wonderfully, powerfully strong killers who were just the toughest. The party annihilated those killers in brutal fashion, almost disintegrating one, phantasmal killing another. No chainsaw and no wolfing, but still, it was rough for the old killers. One of them is still alive, and the party currently has her bound and nearly unconscious in the alleyway, which is where we are now. When we actually left the previous episode, the party had asked this person if it was just a coincidence that she'd gone after them, or if it was the design of someone. She said it was just a coincidence. The party rolled a series of sense motive checks, the greatest of which was a tie for 22, with 22 and less on the sense motive check. She seems to be telling the truth.
So, do we let her go now? What do we do?
Yeah, I mean, try
that's
to
a
murder
tough
us.
look.
I think you could just let me go.
Sorry, you don't get a vote.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. No, I'm not that sorry. I'm mean now.
I'm not voting. I'm just, throwing that out there. You look like cool, reasonable people with your, kind of Stuart Little deal and your eyebrows, and you look taller than you should be, but, just seem like stand-up
How
folk.
do you know our names? Eyebrows and Stuart Little. Those are the names we're canonically going by.
Was this all of you? Are you part of a gang of killers that you're going to go back to and tell them to kill us and steal our monies again? What's going to happen if we let you go?
I was part of
Don't
a gang
lie.
that had 4 people in it. I think we've disbanded. We might take a vote later.
You're the leader.
I am now. We're going to take a vote later, but it's looking like we're going to dissolve.
19 sense motive on that gang of 4.
And her general...
Took another HP before the dissolving was going to happen.
And the general
Just says this
vibe you're getting from her is that she is not going to at least trifle with the lot of you again.
We're inclined to probably let you live, because you wouldn't believe this, gestures back at the 3 corpses, but we're generally pretty nice. Which is, if you just needed something, you probably could have asked and gotten a lot further, specifically with her. But them's the breaks, as they say. And, we're inclined to continue to extend that charity. It would be nice if you could also be useful for us. Do you know anything about the Red Reaver, the bar?
It's a bar. It's a place where you go when you don't want to feel anything.
Wow.
Well, what's there to know? People go there, they do their drugs, they pass out. If you've got a little extra coin, you can burn multiple days in there. They've got rooms where you can stupor yourself for as long as you want, if you can keep paying.
Who makes these party favors, do you know?
And she shrugs.
All right. It's not a gang. It's not another 4-person gang or something like that. You're not familiar.
No gang I know about. I don't know.
All right. I'm literally just trying to gauge how, like, well-known Hellbroth is. In case we were to go in and be like, we're here to see the good doctor. Seems like they're pretty low-key. Tarazi, do you have any questions for this temporarily waylaid individual?
Ah, yes, a TWI. No, I believe you've exhausted all the questions I would have asked.
Yeah.
What about the others? Eyebrows and taller?
What is your favorite color?
I like black mostly. I got like a black vibe going.
17 cents motive.
Seems like she probably likes black, and she is clad almost entirely in it.
Kira puts the sword away. Okay. All right.
If you could do anything besides mugging people, say that I did have a big fat pouch that you were able to take and split with the other 3 that were theoretically alive in this much happier reality, what would you do?
She looks around nervously. She's like, you're kind of putting me on the spot here. I don't know. I would open my own restaurant.
Let's get you a job. Are we opposed to rehabilitating this individual?
They tried to kill us. Probably.
I mean, did they really try? It's really, we all look around. I guess like the remaining 6.
They tried their best, Brixby.
It is true. They both almost got me back there if I didn't have the little 6B, 7B, 9B trick. But yeah, it was a close one there, and I will give you that. I want to believe that there's something else for you out there. And if there's a way that we can, help you on a better path, I'm inclined. We'll keep an eye out. Maybe you want to work at the old Red Reaver. I don't know what their food program is like.
Doesn't seem like the kind of place to me, but, I'll think about it. I'll take it under advisement.
Do you know where the closest Church of Desna is in the city? If there is one.
She thinks for a minute. It's not a big churchy place. There's probably like a Temple of Gorum, and there's like these weird, like, Xiphus kind of worshippers, but I don't know a Desna place around.
I was gonna tell you to go find maybe a house of worship and see if you could just pitch in, get started, maybe feed some people, but it sounds like it's really just punching and accidents that people worship here. So, I don't know. I feel like I've done my due. I'm new to this good thing.
Yeah, I'm actually a pretty skilled individual, It just happened to run into you maniacs. Normally this
Skilled at
goes a
what?
lot better, just saying.
What do you like to do aside from cooking stuff and murdering people who are just trying to live? Go do that. Whatever. You don't have to answer me.
That's
It's
most of
okay.
it.
We've gotten plenty of lore.
I mean, the reality is we as adventurers also channel our violence towards the greater good. You could do that as well. The difference between a gang and a group of esteemed adventurers is at times semantic, but you can do net good. So if you do get another more alive gang back together, consider focusing your more violent urges on monsters, on oppressors, on those that prey on the weak, as opposed to being one of those things. Because we will come back and we will beat the tar out of you again.
Noted. Message received.
Leave all your weapons before you go. You're not going to need them if you're going to be leading an upright life.
Sighs, and her rapier's already on the ground. She goes, I just have a dagger, and that's it for weapons.
You came at us with this? Aw.
Magic rapier. I don't...
Okay.
Kira's like picking her teeth with it. She's like, this is great.
Kira picks her teeth with it, and I need a fortitude save.
Yeah. Uh-oh, I was all ready to be real excited, but that is a 9 on the die. For a 25?
Now you're fine.
Yay.
I was gonna say a 9 on the die is probably still gonna be a higher max fortitude and how we can roll. Close.
Shoot, we don't have thought sense still, I don't think. Wait, no, we might. I can't remember how long we have the conversation brain with each other. Telepathic bond, that's the word. 10 minutes per level. Yeah, no, so it's been probably longer than
that's
2
cool.
hours.
Yeah, it's definitely been several hours. And that,
Yep.
that was like when you came into the city.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Why not? I'm going to cast a Mage's Lucubration to recast Telepathic Bond.
Any opposition to just letting them go? I do respect all opinions on this.
I think we should murder them gently.
I say we let him go.
Yeah, I think Alan would say,
I mean, they did try to rob us, but they kind of failed hilariously, so I don't think they're any real danger to anyone else, especially now that she doesn't have her weapons.
I'm fine with letting her go.
Aw, rats. Sorry, Brixby.
I like the idea of Potato also voting to murder, though. So there's like at least a
I mean,
nice...
Potato's a cat.
Well, Potato's
I
just
do
been
have to-
biting
I
her
was gonna
this
say,
whole
yeah.
time.
I'll tie break.
All right,
Now spoken.
you can go. I would strongly encourage you to pick up that cooking job sooner than later, because I would hate to run into you anywhere else besides the delicious Charlie the Chicken Folks Casual Cafe.
Which is like the upscale version that's here. They have apps.
Ooh. Apps and zerts.
Apps and zerts, exactly, you know, what makes a good casual cafe.
And so she will stand up and kind of back away slowly before eventually, turning and running.
1 out of 4 isn't bad, right? Like, I'm not...
He looks at his hands. He's like, I'm not neutral again, am I?
He's actually full evil now.
No, that was actually rather Sarenrae of you. Sorry, Alwyn.
I may have pulled a cheeky mugging or two as a young rat. Not proud of it, but it's usually, unfortunately, the weakest that are... or the weak that are encouraged to prey on the weaker. That's how power works in places like this. Let's go mess up a drug dealer.
Yeah.
It's totally reasonable to loot them, since they were trying
yeah.
to loot us, right?
Yeah, that's fair. I guess we can rob them a little bit, like a little
Light Robbie
gotcha
do.
back.
I like robbing.
Yeah,
That's a
one
Maybe
treat.
just like pile the 3 of them, like they had an accident.
Yeah, give them the old reverse rubberino, and then put them in a whole, like, triple stab pile to make it look like they all lanced each other at the same time.
Yeah, with the daggers or something.
Yeah, with the least expensive thing that's available.
Kirill grabbed
These
the nearest
sun
guy.
rods.
Just a stick in their hands. And laser wounds. And a scream of fear.
Imagination. Kirill grabbed the nearest guy and grabbed him by the ankles and just sort of jiggled him upside down and see what comes of that.
Oh, all sorts of stuff comes tumbling out when you jiggle them upside down. Each of them has a +1 rapier and is wearing +2 studded leather. They each have a belt of incredible dexterity, masterwork dagger, cloak of resistance, ring of protection, a set of masterwork's thieves' tools. There's 8 sun rods between the 3 of them, and 1,851 gold pieces. There are also a total of 20 vials of 5 different types.
Is craft alchemy, right?
Yes, indeed.
I do have that.
actually have a little bit in
What?
there. Yeah.
Oh my god, I just was literally looking in the... posted that in the loot channel, because I was looking in the loot channel. There we go. 31.
You've got 3 elixirs.
I also got a 16 on the die for a much lower number.
3 elixirs of hiding, 3 potions of cure serious wounds, 3 potions of invisibility, 3 antitoxins, and 8 doses of blue winnis poison. Blue winnis poison is a fairly expensive poison with a terrible fortitude save. But if you fail your initial save, you take a little con damage. Then you get a second save 6 seconds later. If you fail that, you fall unconscious.
Yikes.
It's a fun thing to mug people with.
Old mug drug.
Probably don't need that. I guess if we have to like wean Kevoff Cool off of the Numerian fluids, just give him a little like
Just
that
poison.
and Coke.
Saves are low, just poison them a little.
Well, I'm sure this smaller rat and that barrel will let all the other rats know, and they'll eat the remaining bodies.
Ah, the circle of life.
I should make that clear. I don't do that.
Just those small rats over there.
Just the small rats. For some reason, it'd be really improper if I started eating humanoids. It's bizarre.
Yeah. As you're saying that, there's one trying to drag one of the bodies away, a la Pizza Rat style.
Everyone eyes Brixby suspiciously.
It's crazy, right? Like, if I cast, like, reduce person on myself, am I allowed to eat a person? I mean, hey. Anyway, really riffing on the morality of existing in this world. But yeah, I guess we have drug dealers to rough up. Or possible.
Let's rough up / murder some drug dealers.
All right, popping you over to a new map, because, you know, we've got maps.
Aw. Bye, Fecal Brixby.
The Red Reaver, like many buildings in Starfall, is constructed of a mix of metal and stone, with a roof consisting of metal shingles. And there's a weird red picture of like a hulking humanoid monster on the sign out front. And, of course, it says Red Reaver. And probably like a little also picture of a mug, just to show you that this is for drinking ale and whatnot.
Kira starts to kick open the door and then realizes that they're here to be like subtle and just sort of gently opens it with her foot.
And also, this is a place of business, not like a dungeon or a stronghold.
Also that. I mean, I'm thinking like old-timey saloons when you sort of burst in.
Yeah.
If we have a moment before we kick open the door gently, if I could get a wand hit or a cure light or something, since I'm still down 20.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just assume that happened.
Shortly after
Healed
healing
after
the
we healed other
murderer.
one. Yeah.
As is tradition.
This is the second time.
I'm not using anything else as a level 1 spell, so I'll just tick off 2 cure lights because the minimum of that is going to be more than you need. So I'm just going to tick off 2 more cure lights.
All right. Play it cool. Have we prestidigitated all of our blood off from the accidental murders?
Think so. I'm gonna just get a little zip off Kira there, and it's cast shield again. I still have 2 more cast things. It's good. Why not?
Well, I don't. So I'm going to go in unsheathed.
So
The door's openable. You can click it whenever you want.
Kira's already doing it with their highly dexterous toes,
Yes.
as they
Agreed.
stated prior.
Thank you.
Several rickety-looking tables adorn this cramped room, each surrounded by numerous benches or chairs. The air within this bar is hazy and smells of sweat, incense, and strange sweet scents. The south, a 10-foot-high statue of a hulking humanoid monster with 6 eyes and tiny wings looms, its large bulbous head brushing against the ceiling, while its crimson arms hang forward in a gorilla-like pose. There are numerous Kelids within this room, lounging in chairs, a couple maybe partially on the floor, in various states of repose, kind of looking, at best, quite intoxicated. There is also a woman, the only upright person in the room. She appears to be a Tian woman, but she's dressed and armed like a Kelid, and half of her face, including her right eye appears to be cybernetic. She is at least kind of vaguely smiling as you enter. I do need a fortitude save from everyone as you come into this smoky room.
So I assume it's not
Opium save.
disease.
It's not disease, no.
Please cast life bubble. I roll a 20 or a 20 dirty.
You're all right.
I roll a 20 not dirty.
You're also all right.
Natural 18 plus like 14 or something.
That's too much. You're actually super on drugs now.
Oh no. Does my 35 also make me on
Yeah,
drugs?
The fortitudinous marshals just are completely overwhelmed by how tough they are compared to this DC.
Kira immediately starts dancing with a glow stick.
Since we all saved, Ellen is going to very quickly pull out the extend rod and cast life bubble. Actually, can I do life bubble with the extend rod? It might be too high. It is too high. I can only go up to.
Well, delay poison
I can't
now.
use the
Yeah,
rod,
you
but
can
I
delay
can.
our poisons.
Oh, would delay poison work? Okay, yeah. Then yeah, delay poison. Assuming this is a poison effect. That one I can do with the thing. You'll have poison delayed for a long time.
Excellent. Especially because they were trying to stab us with poison earlier. Feels prudent.
The woman in there is kind of just watching you cast spells on yourselves, looking a little bit confused.
We all step inside, sniff, and then Alwyn just immediately pulls a rod and starts casting spells on us.
Most narc move possible.
Right?
And she's like, you folks lost?
No, but maybe we've heard this is a place to come if we'd like to be.
It may well be. What exactly are all of you interested in?
We're incredibly discerning patrons interested in an elite experience. This is a bluff roll. It is a 39.
And she clears her throat and says, well, it is, why don't you just come out of the doorway? We'll go over where it's a little bit more private back here. And she just kind of goes towards the back of the room. Doesn't look like there's another room in this place, even though from the outside the building was clearly larger than just this room.
Kira's standing on the bar. No, she's not. She's not.
She says, well, if you are interested in forgetting about life for a while, we have a deluxe experience in the Oblivion rooms that is 50 gold per person per day, but it is of course all expenses included. Your biological needs will be catered to while you enjoy yourself.
When I say that we are discerning patrons, we are interested in an experience of, I mean, that hits the low floor of our value. Sure, 50 gold a day. But these bodies don't ingest just any old pesh or cheap drug. Where does this come from?
You sound like you're looking for something specific. Now, I'm a bit at sea here. We're a humble establishment, but we try to meet with whatever needs our patrons may have. And she sort of gestures to what appears to just be a solid wall in the back of the room by the statue. Says, we have all variety of flay leaf, pesh, and more exotic chemicals. But you're going to need to give me a little bit more to go on than just intimations of expense.
The fact that we can afford it means that, look, mental telepathic time. I did cast the telepathic bond. We got 2 hours of this, baby. I say 300 gold minimum is, I mean, I know it's 250, 200, but 300 gold puts a little on top. Maybe it gets her to not ask too many questions beyond the Oblivion room. Keep thinking that, like, Rusty is here and that we'd have to pay for a dog at the opium den, which is also a sentence I didn't expect to ever say. But
Dogs are always free at the opium den.
yes, dogs opium
That
free.
puppuccino.
The puppuccino at the opium den. Oh, that's so sad. Yeah.
I trust your incredibly vast intelligence. I just wonder if flaunting our money that we have, I don't know if that'll just make her more suspicious, or if that'll get... I mean, not that we can't handle ourselves, but we just got robbed, attempted robbed in the alley, and now we're coming and saying we're super rich. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's true, right? But this lot is all pretty much KO'd, and we gotta get on the other side. She raised a relatively high bar by telling us it's 50 gold a day, which is bananas. Man, we got into the wrong business. I'm kidding. I'm chaotic good. But those... I mean, if Connor would hear what they're charging for rooms here, his bed at the foundry wouldn't be as cheap as it is to us. So, I'm just thinking we get back there, we play the farm-to-table-esque drug person, drugasseur, and try to schmooze our way, maybe ideally through Alwyn's less deceptive means, to meet the good doctor themselves. And then from there, we just kind of let it go. It's pretty much the carrot or the Kira.
A much less popular sequel to The Lady and the Tiger. Yeah, so I guess Alwyn will turn to her and say,
1 drugs, please.
Would like 1 crack rock. We'll cut that out.
Just the pebble.
That's an
please.
Always Sunny reference for you, Sam.
Did
Which
somebody
is-
get addicted to crack?
We're not looking
More than
for, the...
cut that out too, please.
We want the microbrew experience here, like the craft whole situation. Like,
Treat me like I'm a tech CEO at Burning Man. Give me those gentrifying drugs that you have back there, like the real fancy, cooked up techie things.
But remember,
That's what
got to go back to work on Tuesday. Took Monday off.
Yep. Absolutely. Still got to be awake enough for my estatic yoga in the morning.
I was going to say a volleyball game, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Pickleball, I guess, nowadays. Sorry.
Pickleball. Yeah, that is.
yeah.
It's always pickleball.
And she smiles and says, well, we can get you all set up. I think we've got 4 rooms available. That'll just be 50 gold each to start.
Here is 300 gold on the condition that we get to meet the person that is fabricating these drugs for us. We've had mixed experiences in establishments like this, and it's important that we are paying for the whole experience. It's trust, you see. Gestures back again. All these warriors lying prone, baked out their bonces. We have to trust. I want to know what I'm putting in my body first.
Of course. But there's no one here but me. You're looking at the sole proprietor, operator, owner, master intoxicator herself. She does a little sort of mock bow. I fully stand behind all of my products, and I believe the results speak for themselves. And a man across the room at that moment, rolls over and falls off of his chair onto the floor and is kind of groaning.
I'm inclined to believe you. I don't mean that as like a turn of phrase, but because I am
I'm
mechanically
inclined.
built in a poor way to discern lies. I roll a 9.
I rolled a 10.
Ooh, now I want to try.
No, quick, don't
7
do
on the
it.
die, so that is a
Just
14.
lob an accusation. Don't roll anything. Just accuse her of not being Hellbroth.
Shoot, it was a 12. I was so close to getting an 11.
So we got a 9, 10, 12, 14. I mean, seems like she's Doc Hellbroth.
Okay, Doctor. Hellbroth. Brixby fixes her with a gaze.
And she
A knowing look.
cocks her head to the side, and her right hand drifts up towards the sword on her back. She says, I thought something wasn't right.
No, we're patrons. patrons, Hellbroth, remember, just want to chat about the stuff. The good drugs, the master intoxicatress herself.
Who are you people?
I believe that we've paid for a room. Can we have that conversation in the pleasure of those private confines?
Very well. The rooms are, of course, one person per room. But, right this way. And she opens up a panel in the wall, revealing a secret door, and steps inside.
You don't have like a whole room for when an office decides to do ketamine together or whatever?
Ketamine and trust falls.
It's the...
Hang on.
We got Paizo map screwiness here. The door opens into
Dang it.
a narrow hallway that immediately bends down to the south. There are numerous doors off of it. As she goes past the first one and stops at the second door and opens it up to reveal just a tiny room with a single bed in it, and says, one of you can have this one.
Yeah, I think I'd like most of us to just hang out in a room.
The
We could just talk like this.
Oblivion rooms are one person per room, as I've stated.
No, I mean, I'm just saying I think we're in a good arrangement right now.
Yeah, I'll take this one, Tarazi says from down the hall and cracks open the door.
And she rushes down towards Tarazi and says, that is actually off limits. Those are my private quarters. Any of the
Oh, that looks much more capacious.
other rooms are available, but I will have to ask you to step away from that door.
I'll have you know that we
Charges
have
through. Someone else
have-
is bad.
4 books of experience of fighting in these old boy style hallways.
And since Tarazi's already opened up the room, he can see that the walls of the room beyond are lined with workbenches that are adorned with all manner of alchemical substances and devices. The central area of the room is open and remarkably free of clutter, but there is a door directly across the room. A metal door after a couple steps lead up to it.
Oh, is that where the magic happens? And Tarazi will step into the room.
Now, I have been polite with all of you, and I have tolerated your deceptions, but I need you to leave this private part of the facility. You did not pay for the privilege of entering my lab.
How
Listen,
much does that
Hellbroth.
cost?
That's a good question. What are you charging to look back here,
This is
Hellbroth?
private. This access to this facility is not for sale. And where did you hear that name?
I think you said it when we came in.
I most certainly did not.
So is that your, like, nom de drug? Is it like your, like, little alter ego that you use when you're drugging?
I feel like we need some sort of a check here. What are
Can
we
we
gonna?
intimidate her?
We do a
What
diplomacy.
are we gonna
or-
roll?
I mean, we have completely surrounded her, so I don't know.
Oh, let me slide up here.
But we've also been acting more like idiots than like threatening people, though. That's why I wasn't sure if intimidate would make sense.
I'm just always down to intimidate someone. But if we don't need it, I'll back off.
I'm always down to act like an idiot, so I mean, like, I don't want to
Yeah.
take away from her.
I feel like Alwyn is gonna go first and attempt to continue the we're just really stupid thing with a diplomacy roll, and if that fails, then Kira can intimidate. That is the 15 on the die for a 31. Is anybody aiding?
This is diplomacy?
Yeah, diplomacy.
Certainly not going to make my own. But if I make this check, then I can't make my own, like, bluff check later.
Oh, is that a thing? Because I will. I also aid.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so that is 35.
I do not.
Oh, Bert got, oh wait, no, he didn't. Oh, because you have minus one.
I got
Almost.
so close.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's because it's +2, right?
Yeah.
Got my 1E and my 2Es. Okay, yeah. So that's a 35 total. And he'll say with that,
We heard that you were a really, really impressive chemist and that you could make really strong drugs out of something called Numerian fluid. That's kind of what we were really here for. Sorry about lying before and saying we just wanted your regular outdoor drugs. We thought maybe if we came back here, we could talk to you about the real stuff.
She says, well, first, allow me to say that it would have been appreciated if you had been straightforward in your aims coming here. Second, I am not really the proprietor of this establishment, but a mere employee. The Doc Helbroth you so astutely allude to is the man behind the various concoctions, including any Numerian fluids that may or may not be here. But that's a dangerous business to get into. One does not simply acquire a drug like that in a city like this. The Technic League is always watching, and while this place in particular may be hidden from their scrutiny, once you leave these walls, you would not have the protection we are afforded. Are you sure that you are interested in that particular chemical?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Provided that we get to meet the actual doctor, sure. I'm just not going to take any luminescent oil in a vial.
And she shrugs her shoulders and she'll kind of squeeze by Tarazi to get up to the door and say, well, don't say I didn't warn you. And she'll open up the door, revealing the room beyond, and step out of the way.
Oh, he looks totally reasonable.
Now, this is a shadowy room, bathed in deep red lights. The haze of cloying, metallic scented smoke leaks from a series of large glass cylinders in the center of the room. Strange masks connect the cylinders by long, slender tubes within which a sickly yellow liquid percolates. A large surgical table surrounded by strange medical machines sits in the center of the room. The walls are lined with more strange apparatuses. Arrays of tubes, syringes, and vapor masks are prominently displayed in glass cases and hanging from steel hooks. A pillar of metal covered in softly blinking lights stands at the east end of the room, a tangle of cables snaking out of it connecting to many other machines spread throughout the chamber. And behind the medical table, there is just a really normal-looking elf. I'm not sure how exactly to describe him. He's clad in purple. His face is, for some reason, illuminated half green. And he's just a weird-looking guy with his pointy ears and a kind of unhinged smile on his face. And he barely even looks up when the door opens. And just says, like, hurry up, get it over with, get on the table.
Brixby turns back and says, you can go. I wouldn't want you to lose any stars on Yelp. Legally distinctive website that rates drug dens.
And she says, very well. In case you were wondering, these rooms back here are soundproof. Can't hear a peep from the street. And she walks away.
Love that. Good energy.
Shuts the door behind him.
Once the door shuts and Doc Helbroth finally looks up from what he's doing, he says, well, what is the meaning of this? I can't do 4 at once. It's 1 at a time.
We're here to talk to you about Numerian fluids and not receiving them. But no longer producing them.
I have nothing to say to the likes of you.
And Kira, we still have the inside thing, right? The inside voices. Yeah. And Kira will, Brixby, is it time to intimidate?
I think we're still at the carrot stage.
Okay.
Which is nominally Alwyn, and then it's the Kira as the alternative. And I don't even know if we have to worry about intimidating. As the old adage says, absolutely.
Oh yeah, so Alwyn will say,
About these fluids that you do, we understand that you have one certain customer that's maybe a lot more important than the rest of them. And we were wondering if maybe we can make some kind of deal for you to stop serving this customer.
I have no idea what you're talking about. You can still roll. I probably shouldn't have interrupted.
That's only going to be a 6 on the dice. That is a 22.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know anything about any fluids. I'm clearly a doctor. Can't you see all this medical equipment? Don't know why you people are bothering me.
Alwyn, in our collective head Wi-Fi, will say,
Kira, I think it's your turn.
And Kira's like, yes! Pulls out Ethel, just to be safe. Like, oh, hang on. Wait for it. Oh, just kidding. Pulls out the chainsaw. She's gotten permission. Telepathically. And revs it once. And is like, I really think it's in your best interest to help us. Because I'm super mean now and I will kill you. And enjoy it. And I will roll to intimidate. That's a 12. But a 12 plus 24 is 36.
So he is shaken. And his immediate response is to gesture to a vaguely humanoid machine on one side of the room and say, "Kill them!" Oh.
And say what?
Kill them, but in his
yikes.
shrill voice. So,
Bummer.
it's going to try to kill you, which means it's time to roll for
that thing's
initiative.
cool looking.
Oh.
But it's-
Looks like one of the ancient gear golems from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh!
He's going to get a penalty to his initiative because he's so scared, which is good. Oh my God.
Oops, that's not what I
His
wanted
little
to do.
buddy is not fast.
Maybe on this square
I can
without
empathize.
Opening the door.
As
this door
can
is still
I.
closed. I'm just trying to... no, I can't do it. I can't measure from that door. Okay, so I'll just do this.
All right, what did the Glum Brixby get for initiative?
A 4 for 13. I was muted there.
The Irritable Tarazi.
Yeah. I rolled a 1 for a 4.
Not the slowest one, but not fast. How about the Excitable Kira?
3 for a 9.
Wow. Party's having a rough go of things initiative-wise. How about the Compassionate Alwyn?
The Compassionate Alwyn got a 14 for a 22.
Well, he's fast, which is good. He's not as fast as the chipper, intimidated Doc Helbroth. Let's see, I think what he's going to do is, looking the party over, he's going to roll a d4 going north to south to see who he wants to shoot with his little dart gun. 1, 2, that's Tarazi. So Tarazi, we're gonna roll just a little ranged touch attack here. How does a 24 to touch sound?
It's a bad touch. That succeeds.
Okay, I've got good news and bad news.
Is the bad news that the song The Bad Touch is now in your head? And the good
The good
news
news.
is that Tarazi is okay.
Oh,
The good news is we have delayed poison communal.
Tarazi's relatively okay in that he only takes 1 damage from getting shot. The bad news is I do need him to roll a D100 as he has been shot with a dart that is full of Numerian fluids.
Yeah.
There's a non-zero chance I roll to die.
God.
19, and I'm old for my age.
Can before we know, can we offer Sky Metal to move it in like a positive or negative way?
I would say you can use a sky metal to move it. The numbers don't necessarily make things better.
Nah, let's find out what just happened.
Okay.
It's gonna be great.
You said a 19?
Yeah.
Okay. Good news. You take 4 intelligence damage and immediately lose the ability to speak or write, but not to listen or read.
Isn't that one of the ones that hit Sandville?
Oh, my poetry.
You can neither speak nor write for 3 days.
Telepathic speech.
Yeah?
Does that still
Something's
work?
wrong with my larynx, he thinks.
Also, I feel stupider.
3 days?
Oh no.
That reminds me of the time I got the flu and watched all of Firefly. I didn't talk to anyone for 3 days either.
It only took you 9 hours.
Only 30 minutes.
I slept a
I was
lot.
going to say, what'd you do for the other 2.5 days?
But of course, Doc Hellbroth's gun can shoot more than one time. So let's roll a d4 to see who is shooting with this other dart here. A 4, that'll be Alwyn.
Oh, yay.
That is a 19 versus touch.
Yes, it does.
All right, well, you're going to take 1 damage and roll me a d100.
That is a 16.
A 16. Guess what you take?
Hit the same
You
one.
got the exact same one. 2 points of intelligence damage immediately. And
You telling me they had a D100 to come up with, like, wild, wacky things that this stuff can do to you, and there's still a range?
yeah, there are a bunch of ranges.
Come on, Paizo Riders.
You also cannot speak.
Give us 100 weird effects.
You cannot speak or write for 3 days.
Oh, is that going to mess with his spell casting if I can't speak?
Yep. Yeah. That's a 20% spell
Sure
failure.
will. Yikes.
Yeah.
Good.
I think, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Or can you just not do the things that have vocal completion?
Let me see.
Because I know deafness is 20%. I don't think that's the same about making you mute. Because I think that you can't... Because you can't cast...
If you're gagged or in the area of a silent spell, you can't cast such a spell. A spellcaster who has been deafened has a 20% chance to spoil. Yeah, if you're muted,
Yeah.
you cannot cast spells with verbal
Spells with
components,
verbal components
which
cannot be
is
cast.
probably a good chunk of my spells. Might even be all of them when you start looking through them.
This is so bad.
Wow.
This is so bad.
You got Hellbrothed.
Scruff McGruff told me this would be easy.
All I had to do is say no.
And now you can't for 3 days.
Verbal.
Oh my god.
I think all of my spells have a verbal component.
Oh no.
I think unless you're like a psychic or something, there are very few spells that don't have a verbal component.
Yeah, look who's not casting lead blades for the next 3 days. It's me. But if I die because I can't be healed, then that won't have to worry about lead blades.
Man, that is brutal. Because even my healing stuff needs verbal, so I can't even like undo this. Oh, this wouldn't mess. This doesn't count as our delay poison doesn't stop this,
Do
does
you
it?
have delay poison on?
Yeah, we cast it when we went in.
Oh. Let's see. Are these poison
Remember?
effects?
Yeah,
That's what I said the good news was.
I don't know if numeric fluid counts
Consider
as a poison or not.
drugs. Oh, you also get a fortitude save.
Okay, that makes
Oh,
a little
that's-
You
more
can
sense,
willingly
too.
forgo the fortitude save, which I assume that you did.
Oh yeah, totally.
I feel like drugs are separate from poisons. Am I wrong in thinking that?
It doesn't say it's a poison effect anywhere here. I'm looking for that specifically in the rules.
Drugs are
Okay,
alchemical
drugs are
items.
alchemical items that grant effects to those who make use of them.
Sets them apart from similar items. If they're
Fortitude save of a 28 might be good enough to resist.
All right, Tarazi can talk and doesn't take the intelligence damage.
I got
My
a
larynx is fine.
22, which probably isn't.
No, 22 actually also passes.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yay!
Okay.
So you
Yeah, because, by the way, I don't have any spells that don't have a verbal component. I just went through my whole list.
Okay, so there's good news and there's good news. The good news is you only take 1 damage each, and the other good news is, in addition to not getting any negative effects of the drug, you both experience euphoria. Just feels
Oh
really
my
good
god, this is
to be
great.
on that drug.
Like the show?
I
Oh,
bring
that's
you
not great.
love.
You see the show before your eyes.
Bring in love, break its legs.
Well, it's a dark show, so that's maybe not great.
Well, yeah, but you enjoy it from far away.
Ah.
You're entertained.
I think this is really sending the right message about drugs.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Unless you have a high fortitude
Unless you're
save
healthy enough.
and then do them.
All right, Alwyn, now that you can talk, what shall you do for your turn?
He is still worried about this robot in the corner. Alwyn, the character, does not know what almost happened to him, so he's not going to change what his original plan was. Can that robot that is totally a robot and doesn't normally need to make will saves make me a will save?
Is this a spell?
It is a spell.
Is there a spell resistance?
Oh, is that thing a golem? Oh, it's got SR. Okay. I thought you were going to say like a golem, not a robot.
Well, does it allow spell resistance?
That
Oh, unless it happens to be one of the spells that affects it.
is Feeble Mind one of those spells?
No.
Okay, then it just fizzles out.
All right.
And I think he will say with his voice it still works.
That thing in the corner, it's not a robot, it's some kind of golem.
Is he running out of the room or staying where he is?
I think he is going to move slightly. He is going to go a little bit to the north left and get kind of between Kira and Tarazi. So he's within touch distance of everybody and also has some melees between him and the guy with the gun.
All right. Glum Brixby.
All right, I'm going to do a knowledge on that golem first. Is that Arcana?
I think it's engineering, actually, as a construct.
Engineering.
Or is it Arcana? I think it's Arcana, actually.
Okay, so it's subtract 4 from that, so that is a 36 for Arcana, because my knowledge Arcana is 4 less than my knowledge engineering.
Well, this is a clockwork golem. Clockwork golem's body is made up of hundreds of carefully crafted copper, iron, and silver gears weighing almost 1,500 pounds. With a 35, you get one good question on this guy.
Oh no! Yeah, I'm gonna say special attacks on that one.
Well,
Oh, I actually might have been able to construct. Oh no, I don't think that overrides it. Never mind.
well, a clockwork golem deals an additional pile of damage, slashing damage, if it successfully grapples someone as the razor-sharp gears and blades emerge from its body and slice its foes. It can also construct a wall of gears that hurt anyone that try to pass through them. And in addition, when a clockwork golem is reduced to 0 or fewer hit points, it does explode. So you got that waiting for you.
Definitely. Okay, great. And that was a 36, not a 35, because I can math. And Jeff definitely reminded me. That doesn't put me over the threshold for a second question. I just have to ask.
No.
All right, that's fair. That's scary.
It could become a wall, also it blows up when it dies. The feeling he's probably going to try to hide behind it, but we don't want to be separated on either side. 6 seconds.
I have been preparing this every freaking day since the cube. Sam, I am making a CMB check against Dr. Feelgood.
He is the
I
one
want that
they
gun.
call Dr. Feelgood.
That is a 23 versus CMD, sorry.
His CMD is better than 23.
He has a terrible roll. It's a 5 off the die. All right, that is the end of his turn. He's going to use a free action to go invisible, and he will step back 5 feet after going invisible. And yeah, is it another local to figure out what sort of Hellbroth is? Like what a Hellbroth is? All right. I'm going to just throw another knowledge at that. I have an idea of what his line of work is. Where were you before when I was trying to steal guns? That's 38.
You might just be looking at an alchemist.
Makes
Are you
sense.
shocked?
All right, and that's an alchemist. Yep.
And that's the end of my turn.
All right. Excitable Kira. You can't see Brixby anymore. There's no telling where he is. He probably abandoned
Okay,
you.
this is probably This is a dumb question, but can I just walk up to him?
Well, there's a table between you,
just-
but you can walk around the table.
Sure. I'll walk around the table and just sort of position myself next to him.
Yeah, table explodes
Be
and
like-
you die, though.
Oh, I knew it. And be like, stop shooting my friends with drugs unless it's consensual. And is going to try and hit him with a chainsaw since that is what she has in her hand.
I would prefer not to stop shooting them with drugs.
Okay, that is going to be a 16 plus 21 is 37.
Enough.
Yeah, 37 will hit.
Okay. That's just a measly 3d6 because I'm not. No, I didn't say raging. I'm going to rage, but I'll that it didn't account for the hit and I won't add my points to it. And 31 points of damage. And then I'm going to rage. And then I would like to attempt to intimidate again. Can I do that again? Or is he still shaken?
He's still shaking.
Okay. I'm going to go for it anyway. Natural 20. So that's a 20 plus 24. 44 to intimidate.
He's intimidated for a while.
Excellent. Which I believe means I also get an extra single hit on him because Cornigan's smashing.
Dog smash.
That is 15 plus 24. Oh, because I'm raging now. 15 plus 24 is 9, 39
It's a lot.
points to hit, which I assume works.
Yeah.
And exactly the same damage. No, I'm raging now. 25, 36.
He doesn't
36
like that.
points of damage. I don't like him.
No, he doesn't like
Ha! What? Oh, that hurts. That's my turn.
you. All right. Irritable Tarazi.
Oh, he's so irritated that he almost lost his voice. First thing he's going to do, not metagaming, just didn't get a chance to do it, is he's going to cast Lead Blades as a standard. He is going to drop, well, I guess he hadn't drawn the longsword, so he's not going to drop it. He's just going to draw the Null Blade. Feels so good. And then just take a 5-foot step to the east, closer to the desk, because that's all he can do right now.
All right. That will bring us to the instinctive Clockwork Golem. Let's see. What's the Clockwork Golem going to do? Well, he's got somebody in front of him that I think he's just going to try to, impede Tarazi's day a little bit. He's going to step up and do the old slammy do. Ooh, terrible. Only a 27.
No dresses are going to make that hit.
Okay, he didn't actually need to step up because I mistakenly did not make this guy large.
Oh no. He's a big boy now.
Seems like a little oversight.
For some reason, I assumed he already was large. I just looked at a normal sized token and went, yeah, that's a large.
Does a 29 slam Tarazi with the other slam?
No, it does not.
Well, that's a shame. It's a anticlimactic way to end the episode, but I do think that at the end of round 1, with a slammy-do friend in Tarazi's face and Kira taking a bite out of the brothman, I'm going to bed.
You'll be out of the B.
Good night, Sam.
Night,
Good
Sam.
night, Sam. Good night, broth man.
Old
Man.
GN to the S. And good night, Brothman.
Take a bite out of broth. That's going to be our new Kira McGruff.
Broth McGraw.
The anti-drug figure in Numeria is sentient broth. That's very on.
Don't do drugs. It's super bad.
All right. Good night.
Against the machine. Against the machine.
Pot Against the Machine is property of Network Against the Machine LLC, all rights reserved. Pathfinder and the Iron Gods Adventure Path are property of Paizo Publishing. See their website for more details. theme Against the Machine was written and performed by our own Zach. See the show notes for additional music and sound licensing. If you enjoyed the show, we encourage you to leave us a review.
Waveforms.
Form. Wave.
The audacity. The
The aud-
wave dacity.
Free, open
Tenacity.
source software.
Foss.
Also now recording.
Such a good product.
Kingsley scratching at the door.
Bring back your cat.
We want cat forms.
No. There.
You going like full Eric Andre, like, let me in. God, I rewatched that clip the other day. He is probably the best, I don't know what you call it, cringe comedy person I have ever seen. I don't know if anybody else here has ever watched Eric Andre's show.
I've only watched
His stuff is just so amazing.
a little bit of the Eric Andre show. I absolutely hated him on the Righteous Gemstones, which I think you were supposed to.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the clip of him, you got to watch. It's actually, I know it is because that's where I just watched it and it was on YouTube. But the clip of him visiting the DNC is just amazing. You want to turn it off the entire time. Like, it's like watching a car wreck. It's just.
Did anyone watch The Rehearsal on HBO? Or
I was
Max?
going to say Nathan does that pretty well too. Like,
Really
makes you
does.
so
I can't
uncomfortable.
watch, what's it called? Nathan Free. Can't watch it.
Yeah,
Cannot
I
watch.
want to leave my skin sometimes. Just like straight up unzip it and like walk the rest of my body out and go, because there are things. I mean, don't get me like the one about like the antique shop becoming 24 hours and encouraging people to be drunk because they would pay for everything that they broke was like a pretty good one, but some of them occasionally border on the edge of gray morality, in my opinion.
It's a rough watch.
Yeah, when he befriended the sad bro during spring break was probably the most like existential despair that I've seen in a character wearing flame shorts with wraparound shades.
Wow. Well, if you haven't seen The Rehearsal, I recommend it. It's much less painful, but it is still a rough watch. Maybe just watch the first episode. First episode, great.
All downhill from there.
Yeah.
Clop, loop, clip. Boop. Real weak clap on my part there. Boop. As an aside, we can actually remove this for spoilers for people listening, but Red Reaver is like one of my favorite PFS scenarios. It's like tied to the whole last wall thing. It's really cool. It's also scary. It's a very scary thing, the Reaver.
There's one here.
Scary how?
It's the bartender Barry Reaver.